In today's video, we'll be looking at 5 amazing UX designer portfolio websites that can inspire you to get started with yours. The portfolio website that will be featured in this video have been linked in the description below, so you can check them out later if you want to. If you're new here, my name is Samuel and I'm a senior product designer based in London. Subscribe to my channel to get regular videos like this. I'm always excited to see new subscribers. With that being said, let's get into it. The first portfolio website we'll be looking at is Marco.fyi. It belongs to Marco Cornacchia. I'm not sure I pronounced that correctly. Forgive me, Marco, if I didn't pronounce your name correctly. I really like this portfolio website because of the friendliness, right? And also, you could see a lot of white space. Here, Marco describes himself as a product designer and as a Webflow developer. And when you over on that, you see some really nice, quirky, fun stuff. That also shows Marco's personality. I also like the use of typography, being able to use that to sort of show the hierarchy, his name in this bold, interesting font. And then he also has his picture here. When you scroll down the website, you see the navigation at the top here. But when you actually scroll down the website, you then see navigation pop up on the left side of the screen, on this side of the screen. So you could see like the selected work, and then you see the community, you could see his resume, you could see his skills, the online courses and his tools, then you could see about me. It also has an interesting way of showing what people are saying about him. Everything is just presented in this interesting way here, and then this actually just scrolls. And I like this bird thing. There's a lot of personality on this website, actually. Before I even get to meet Marco, I could tell that he's a very playful person. And that's one of the things that you want to be able to communicate on your website as well. So let's go ahead and check one of Marco's work. I've gone back to this. I really like the navigation here. You could easily just get into any of the sections by clicking the navigation on the left panel here. So let's just go into work and then see one of the works that he has. This is also quite interesting. This actually takes some time to load, but this interesting animation here that just shows like a takeout pack just dangling and dingling there, right? It just really draws you in and maybe makes you wait. But now it's taking too long. Oh, we're finally in. I skipped that, but it took a while. It loaded too long. I guess because it has so many things inside the case study, right? So here it has this really big header that shows some of the screens on this app. I like the mockups that is used here to sort of present his work. And then when you now start to go in, it then starts to describe the project itself, what it's about, the project type, its role, the timeline, and then the tool that you use for this project. It's able to clearly show the problem, the goals, the business goals. And it's very interesting how he actually visualizes stuff, right? It makes you want to keep scrolling. It makes you want to keep looking. Because if you actually look at this case study, there's a lot of text actually. So it's interesting to see the way he actually presents this text in a way that you want to keep going. And that's a very good way to present your case study. It goes into like the user personas, and then the early iterations and sketches, and links to the wireframes, the user flows, the solutions and the prototypes. And that's it. The next portfolio we're looking at is Aleksi Tappura. Aleksi is a freelance UI UX designer based in Helsinki, Finland. This is also a very clean portfolio website. Very good use of white space and good use of colors as well. And then I like the way he's able to present each of his projects, right? So you have like this alignment going on where he has the thumbnail for the project on this side, and then he has the short description for the project on the right side. And then when he gets to the next project, he flips it to the other side where he has the thumbnail on the right side, and then he has a description on the left side. This is very clean. Here, he also describes what it does, what the services are. He does service design, he does UI UX design, and he also builds design system. Then he has his contact as well. It's a very, very simple portfolio website. And then in the About Me section, he basically just describes who he is, what he's been up to, and what he enjoys doing. This is a very, very nice way to sign off your About Me page, just sort of that, giving that personality with your signature. And then he also speaks about clients that he's worked with here. Let's get into Alex's work and see what he's been up to. The use of typography, white space here is really, really good. It helps to focus on the project, and the imagery is also very, very good as well. Here it shows one of the major screenshots, I guess, from this particular project, which is called Start On. And then it speaks about the challenge, what his role was. I guess this is more like an enterprise product, right? And then he's shown a lot of screens and a lot of mock-ups. And this actually shows his skill as a visual designer. So this actually shows that he's more skilled as a visual designer. He has really, really clean designs. He would do well as a user interface designer, and is not showing a lot of UX processes. Was able to show the visual design that is done here, and they are really, really clean. Also, it shows parts of the design system and is also able to communicate the impacts of the project. The main reason why I like Alex's portfolio is the fact that it is really, really clean. It is very, very straight to the point. Anybody that's trying to look around in this portfolio won't spend so much time, but will be able to get all the details that he or she needs to get from the portfolio. That's why I love it. And the next portfolio is anjapetrovic.com. So this portfolio belongs to Anja Petrovic. Anja is a product designer focused on SaaS growth. She works closely with product managers, engineers, marketers, and analysts. She researches and designs ways to build a strong product funnel, guiding users from visitors to happy customers through a series of aha moments. I like how she describes what she does here. It's very, very interesting because it actually draws you in. And then she's also shown a bit of character with our portfolio, introducing some of these colors, which you start to see later on in the portfolio, introducing them here, right? And then you could see that is also part of our logo. So you could see a little bit of visual identity going on with Anja's portfolio. Here, she then speaks about each of the case studies, right? And for each of the case studies, one thing that's interesting to me is how she actually describes the case study at the portfolio grid level, right? She is able to describe the problem that she's solving in the fewest words possible. So here she's saying that this is a new user's guide to value. This is a journey to a carbon neutral future. This is tracking babies' health and growth. This is transparent insurance with a dash of delight. This is automating industrial workflows. This is just very, very interesting to see how she actually puts what she's done into words, right? And this is something that is really, really important, when putting case studies together or when putting a portfolio together. The portfolios that I'm actually looking at, if you've paid attention so far, you would notice that I'm actually focusing on a lot more UX, right, than actual, transitions and all of that, right? I'm actually focusing on a lot more UX, being able to explain your project clearly. Here she speaks about the other industries she's worked in, and it's interesting to see how wide her experience has been. So she's been in marketing, she's been in fashion, she's done social impact, human resource, healthcare, and then training events as well. And then a link to her LinkedIn. And then you could see, I really, really like how she brings all the colors together at the bottom of the page here. It's really, really strong. It communicates our visual design skills, and it also establishes our visual identity that we've already seen here at the top. So let's go into one of Anja's work. One that I really like is this, tracking babies' health and growth. So this case study, the use of color is really, really great here. And then here she basically just described what this is about and has two mock-ups, and then what our role was, the goal, and then the timeline of the project as well. She has the overview, she has a role, and then goes straight into like the UX of things, sketches that was done, the concept while it was being developed, whiteboarding, and then how she was able to bring a user flow together to be able to understand the actions and path that people can take in the app. Then she also speaks about constraints. It's very, very important to get into constraints as well. And this is really, really interesting to see. She also shows like a prototype of the app in action while someone is using it. And then the UI patterns that was used, colors, and also introducing some part of the typography and even some part of the design system. And she also touches handoff. Then she goes into like the final designs, what the screens look like. And then if you want to check this out later, you could go here and click the prototype and go have fun with the app. Then she speaks about the outcomes and then the lessons learned. I think this is a really, really good case study. I think this is a really good case study. And that is one of the reasons why I really, really like this portfolio. One other interesting thing about Anja's portfolio is that she has a section called Play, which is basically like a playground. The playground is where she's talking about like a side project. From here, we could see that she's a painter. She likes to paint. She makes really, really beautiful paintings. And this is really, really interesting to see as well. The reason why I like this portfolio is it describes Anja as somebody that's a process-driven UX designer. It describes exactly how she likes to approach problem solving, and then also shows that she has a lot of visual design skills and shows that she has a lot of personality as well outside being a UX designer. The next portfolio we're going to be looking at is jclark.co.uk. This portfolio belongs to J. Clark. J. Clark is a senior product designer focusing on design processes, shipping meaningful work, and making people's lives better. It looks like I've actually been going through similar kind of portfolios. You could already tell that I'm really, really into white space. I'm really, really into portfolios that communicate what the designer does clearly from the onset. The navigation here is really good as well. Down here for the good stuff, showing some personality using words. He's worked on projects for Tesco, Abito, Shell Energy, What3 Words, and Vortic, XR, and then Alicia Bank. I really, really like this part of the portfolio. It speaks about his unmentioned skills, setting food on fire, and then he has like a level for that, right? Setting food on fire, intermediate. Apparently, Jay burns food a lot. This is really interesting just to show a bit of personality as well. It's always interesting to show that part of you outside design. What are the other things that you do outside design? Outside being a product designer, who are you? I think that's really, really important. Let's check the Tesco project. I like Tesco. Tesco is a grocery store in the UK. So for people that are not in the UK that are actually watching this, I don't know about Tesco. Tesco is one of the biggest grocery stores in the UK, and that's why I'm interested in this project. I actually want to see what Jay has done for Tesco here, right? At the beginning, love how we have like the three big mock-ups that shows the work that he has done, and then the description in the simplest, easiest word, as simple as ABC. No unnecessary jargon. It just goes straight to the point. And then he also speaks about the team, which is very important, right? A lot of times when you're putting your portfolio together, especially when you get to like a senior designer level or when you get to like a design manager level, it's interesting to see every other person that worked with you on that project, right? So here is worked with 4 product designers, 12 engineers, 3 test engineers, 1 product owner, and 1 agile delivery lead. So this is like a 22-man team that worked on all of this. And it's obvious that Jay is a very senior designer, right? Because beyond seeing here that he worked with a large team, he's also showing here immediately how he had impact. He's bringing that up first so that you could see what his impact is, creating and maintaining a cross-platform design system, iteratively improving internal design processes within the project team, and working closely with engineers to ship high-quality work. Then it goes into what the design system looks like, because obviously that's one of the major things that was done. Then how the project performed, which is more like impact and numbers. And I like how this is also presented here. I like this zigzaggy thing going on here as well. Very, very strong visually. Like this portfolio is actually really, really strong visually. The use of colors, the use of typography is really, really interesting. And then it also has like a social proof as well, which shows like what other people are saying about using the app. And then he also has a part where he gives a shout out to other members of the team. I'd like to see another project on this portfolio. So let's view next project. Here again, he describes what this project is about. This project is called Abito. Again, he addresses what the problem was, what the background of the project is, and what his team did in very few words, in about 6 lines, so that it's easy for anybody that wants to actually dig into the project to say, oh, let me see what else is happening here. Then they can then start to go dig further, right? The team that worked on this project were 2 product designers, 1 researcher, 2 engineers, 1 product manager, and then 1 copywriter. And then he also has like mock-ups or screenshots of what it was like. Same format with the previous projects, speaking about impact, and then other screenshots from the project, and then speaking about results as well. And then a shout out to other members of the team that worked on this. And the last portfolio we're going to be looking at belongs to Silvana Yaneva. Oh, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Silvana Yaneva. I'll just call her Silvana. The first thing that jumps at me in this portfolio is actually the background. So there's a video on the background, or maybe it's a video or a GIF or an animation, or it's just interesting, it's intriguing. It has this grainy look or grainy feel, and then it just has some illusions going on. I really like it. It's drawing me in. And then another thing that I can see here is how she arranged a navigation. So you could see walk, you could see about, you could see playground, and I'm sure there's something else, but my video here is covering what is here. Let me move that a bit so you could see less chat there. Right. This is really, really nice as well. And then when you scroll down, you get to see who she is and then her projects as well. What I really like about the portfolio grid here and how she presented her project is, she has projects where the project grid is taking the center stage, and then she has one where 2 project grids are together on the same page, and then she repeats that kind of pattern like that. Really, really interesting. It's nice to really experiment with your project grid. And then our use of colors as well. You could tell that the use of colors here is really, really intentional, right? The use of color here is really, really intentional. And then she has the footer and links to her socials, and LinkedIn, her Twitter, and Instagram, and then a resume. First of all, I'd like to go to about. I like the transition as well, how it just moves to the about page. And then she just describes herself in about 7 lines, and her experience as well. If you want to download a resume, you could click here. And then she also has the client that she's worked in. Apparently, she's had lots of agency experience, which is really good, because if you have an agency experience, then you get to work on lots of products, lots of different products, and get different perspectives. So you get a wide perspective rather than working on one particular product and getting a deep perspective on that product. Then let's go to Silvana's work. I really like the work she did for eBay, so I'll be going through that. She speaks about what she did for eBay, helping eBay reach a global audience, right? In how many words? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In 6 words. Here is what I have done, helping eBay reach a global audience. I think that is brief, concise, and I think it's very brilliant, right? And then you could see the main hero image here, which has somebody interacting with what she designed with her team, or what she designed alone. I can't tell yet if she worked with the team or if she did this alone, but you could see what the prototype looks like and somebody interacting with that. That is one of the initial introductions into that. And then you can see here that it has Konnichiwa Japan. Remember, global audience. So probably she had to do a lot of work on localization to sort of translate whatever has been done into different languages and different cultures, so that people all over the globe can be able to use the eBay website. Here she describes what she's done, probably at an agency at Field. I helped design, oversee, and deliver hundreds of meaningful emotive campaigns for eBay in 7 different languages. right? As a team lead, I made sure we delivered errorless and visually consistent work across all markets. The work spun across all touch points, on-site, CRM display, and social, right? Basically just describing what she did, when she did it, the services, and then the background as well. And then she goes into like images of what was done. This is a lot of the work that was done here, obviously, is from a visual design, marketing design standpoint, right? Not so much of UX, but it's just interesting to see how she's able to bring this to life with this really, really popping colors, popping imagery, and all of that, right? Here, you could also see what the result was, what the impact of the work that she's done is. Here, you could see that as well. And yeah, then she has the playground, which I would just like to look at too quickly. Just like the previous portfolio that we looked at, the playground is where she has like a lot of experiments and explorations. As you can see here, she has a lot of really, really nice visual design explorations, colors, and illustrations. And she's actually showing all of that here. So if you look through, I think these are really interesting. It's just art, and this is a way to sort of keep yourself distracted as a designer, just creating things that don't exactly put any sort of pressure on you. So those are the UX designer portfolio website that I'm feeling at the moment. Which one did you like best? Let me know in the comment section. And if there are any other portfolio website that I didn't mention and you think they're equally as good, drop them in the comment section as well. I'd like to see them. I really hope this portfolio website inspires you to get started with yours. Remember, it's important to show your work as a UX designer. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share with as many people as possible. I'll see you in the next video.